Did you snag your tickets yet for Launchpreneur Academy Live? If not, the final day to grab yours is November 7th at midnight. After that, no more tickets. No buying ticks at the door or last-minute DMs asking Brian to do you a favor. The event, as you know, is Saturday, November 12th in Novi, Michigan. Your job is to pause the podcast right now. Head on over to launchpreneuracademy.com and secure your seats. Again, no more ticket sales after November 7th. Now, on with the show.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Come along with us across the country on our first ever Winter Shop Tour series with your host, Brian Fullerton. We're going to take a look at some of the best in the snow and ice management business and get a behind-the-scenes look at their snow equipment, field operations, shop tours, and so much more. We are proud to partner with Byers Products, Billy Goat Industries, and Western Plows to bring you these incredible tours and interviews. You're also invited to watch the corresponding shop tours on the Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel. Get ready to learn the latest and the greatest on how to run a profitable snow and ice management business from these industry leaders. And now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and super excited about kicking off the first ever fall-winter shop tour here, brought to you guys by Byers, Western, and Billy Goat. All right, so we are actually sitting across from our first tribute, I've been calling it, which is pretty funny, but we got none other than Matt McIntosh over in Livonia, Michigan, with the company of Clippers. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, man. I've messed up every intro today.
Everything.
I've been all over the place. We're mowing like 60 lawns in like 2 days. We just did a massive leaf cleanup. I'm coming in hot, but this is how we do it, real life.
Perfect.
How's everything going with you guys?
Good.
Good. We got Eric Estes, right?
Yeah, Estes.
Estes, that's right. Like Estes Lauder?
Yeah.
Something like that. Any lineage?
No.
Not part of the family?
He wishes.
I'm French-Canadian, but that's about it.
So you're spearheading Plowright, but you're also one of Matt's right-hand guys. We're going to be talking about getting this whole thing off the ground. Oh, my God. Like, this company has been around for 2 generations now.
Yes.
All right, so here, give us the cliff notes, the high level. You know what's going on.
Yeah, so my dad started the company in 1986.
Okay.
Got laid off from steel mill, started cutting grass, went from there.
Yep.
Me and my brother started working here when we were little.
Okay.
Me full-time since 18, him's the same way. And we're here still.
Yeah. When did he found the company? When did the Clippers get started?
1986.
1980. That's when I was born.
Yeah.
That's right. That's crazy.
You're young.
Dude, I'm young, but then I also got younger guys working for me that have been born post 9/11.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know anything about 9/11? They're like, yeah, I mean, I know what it is, but I wasn't born. And I'm like, what? You know, so it's like, it's happening. I'm like, now that guy.
Yeah.
So I hear you. I'm sure I'm going to have many more yuck stories like that in the future. So Clippers over here, you guys are part of the first ever winter/fall shop tour series. So we did a whole walkthrough video that you guys can watch on YouTube. You did a really good job, by the way.
Well, thank you.
For real. I'm not just saying that. Like, I was like, have you done this before? You're like, no, but
No.
I love what I do.
I was nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
No, dude, you did a great job. Eric's been on the videos before. You guys have seen the Plowright, videos, and we'll get into that here as well. But tell me a little bit more about the company here. You guys have grown since 86, 96, 06, 16, plus 5 or 6 more.
Yeah.
So 35, 36
6 years, yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so company's grown. It's been a learning curve the whole way.
Sure.
Right? You make your mistakes, and then you try to do better. So we've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to do better.
Cool.
So
So give me a snapshot of the company today.
So the company today now is we're still doing maintenance,
Okay.
sprinklers, fertilizer, landscaping. Landscaping's probably our main thing in the summer.
Yep.
We're still doing maintenance commercial. We're trying to do more commercial than residential.
Okay.
But so in the summer that we're there, in the winter we we push snow, salt, do all that good stuff. But we've been selling salt to contractors since about 98.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's with the yard.
Yeah, with the yard.
Okay,
Yep,
so we got 2 businesses here, right?
3 basically, but yes.
Oh, well, yeah, with Plowright, of course.
Plowright, there's 3, yeah. So,
Wow.
but yeah, so in 98 we started selling bulk salt to contractors and bag salt.
Wow. Okay. So, give me how many team members you guys got working here?
Right now about 32 in the summer, and we go to about 20, 21
Okay.
in the winter.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
yeah, and most of the people, team members been here, I'd say 70% of them have been here for over 10, 15 years. I have some guys that have been here for 24.
Is that right?
Yes.
Holy cow. That's awesome. And then, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that. We're going to mix in some Plowright here. Eric, you're one of Matt's right-hand guys. So talk to me a little bit about Plowright, because this is an extension off of the Clippers contractor company, then the Clippers yard, and now you got the Plowright product. Give me the high level. Some guys have seen it, some guys haven't, but tell me about it.
Yeah, so Plowright was the owner's idea back about 20 years ago. Started off small. We're selling locally, through our warehouse here, and then I came on board about 10 years ago, and then 5 years ago we really hit it hard nationally.
That's when I heard of you.
Yep.
Okay.
And then started an e-commerce website, expanded the warehouse.
Sure.
Made quite a few tweaks, and now we're running full steam ahead. And,
Yeah.
It's been going great.
Tell me a little bit about we did a separate video. So tell me about the warehouse and just the operation over there for a minute.
Yeah. So we expanded our warehouse. We're about 2,000 square feet up there right now. It's fully set up to maximize efficiency for shipping through our e-commerce website.
Yeah.
People can still come here and purchase them too. We do quite a bit of walk-in sales.
Yeah.
So it's been a great ride.
And then you can get those at plow-right.com.
Yep.
And then the Brian Stein code works to save you guys a couple bucks. Because you reached out to me on social. Actually, I think I bought some first. Actually, I bought some first because of Christian Schlegel. CNI over there, and shout out to my boy Christian. And then I said, hey, are these things good? And you said, sure. So then I bought some, and then you and I reached out, and you're like, hey, dude, I think I follow you on Instagram. And I said, yeah. I'm like, maybe, I don't know. And so you and I got to talking, and we were able to work out the Brian 10 code to help save you guys a couple bucks. Yep. Really quick, this kind of blew my mind. Give me a couple stats of like how much product you guys are shipping, how many steaks a day. It's actually pretty crazy.
I mean, it ranges. Obviously, it's a seasonal business, so we pretty much operate through the months of August to January, but it can be anywhere from 6,000 a day up to 20,000, plus a day, depending on our bulk orders that go out.
Yeah. But that's pretty impressive to me. Like anybody who's shipping 10, 20, 30 orders a day of anything, I'm just like logistically, the UPS labels, all that kind of mess. So we did a whole separate video after the Clippers tour. So make sure you guys go to the Brian's All Maintenance YouTube channel to check that out. But if you just need some snow steaks, I mean, all the regional guys use them, all the big guys. And then we got a little dog, Ruby. What kind of dog again?
French Bulldog.
French Bulldog. Hey, how you doing? So, you guys can hear on the microphone. This is the first time ever getting my face licked by the dog on the podcast. But then again, my dog usually barks behind the scenes. So, you sit on the lap. Do you smell my dog? Yeah, probably. So, here's what I want to talk about. First off, we went to Black Rock. Was that this year?
Yes, this summer.
Was it in the summer?
Yeah.
I don't even know. It's been like a blur of...
Too busy.
Dude, you're not kidding. But we went there. We ate so much food. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it felt borderline gluttony. Like,
it was good.
And then you went to the bathroom, and I took the bill, and you came back. You were like physically mad. You're like, you're not paying for this. And I said, relax. I said, dude, this is like my honor, like my pleasure. Like, we were hanging out for about 3.5... How long were we there?
About 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
Yeah. And then you get the dessert.
The big... mountain, whatever that is, volcano or whatever.
Yeah. If you guys go to Black Rock, get the ice cream volcano. I don't know what you call it, but it has like the sparkler thing in it. And I was laughing. It was nothing like having 3 grown men eat all from the same dessert. It was, but that thing was ridiculous. Did you get some of that, Eric?
Oh yeah.
That thing is ridiculous.
Yeah,
but,
that was the first time I had been there.
Yeah,
it was,
me too.
I've never
been there before either.
You never been to Black Rock? Really?
No.
I got half of my audience. They've been to Black Rock because they come up for the live event.
Yeah.
And they all go there. And the first year we rented out the patio.
Okay.
So everybody's like, man, this Michigan's got this banging place. People from Oklahoma, Florida, they don't have Black Rocks there yet. And I'm like, you guys never heard of Black Rock Steak on a Stone? They're like, no. And they're all hooked.
Yeah.
Like they all come back up for LAL and like, dude, I'm going to that Steak on a Stone place. I'm like,
That's
it's
awesome.
It's the whip. But that was a really good time because I got to meet you for the first time.
Yes.
Where we sat down, we had a good 3-hour powwow. We were talking shops, we were talking equipment, and I said, hey, do you mind if I grab you to get you on the fall winter tour? And you said, sure, which was really, really thoughtful and really appreciate you opening this whole place up. So here's my question to you, Matt, is the reason we're doing these shop tours is because 2 reasons. One, guys have smaller companies, they want to grow bigger companies. And then number 2, they may be working out of their garage, their mom's garage, maybe they got a small pole barn. And then they want to grow to a standalone shop, a standalone business, a building, brick and mortar store, a couple thousand square feet thing. What's that evolution been like for you guys? What's some thoughts that you might have for those guys that want to grow a bigger company and then even grow to a standalone business and building?
Yeah, so in that, I mean...
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, I mean, there's
in
so
30
many
seconds or less.
way to answer, yeah. Truly, you need to know your numbers, you need to know your work that you're getting in, and you need good employees.
Okay.
If you can have a couple of good employees that you can trust and help you build your business, you're going to have a great opportunity to do it. For us, coming up, we've had our hiccups, we've had our mistakes, failures, but we've also learned from them.
Okay, sure.
So if you can learn from your failures, have some money before you make the next jump. So when times get bad, you're able to get yourself out of it. You're good to go. My biggest thing to guys when they ask me, how do you do it? I always tell them, don't get too big too fast.
Okay.
Because you're going to end up with a lot of bills, right? You're buying trucks, you're buying mowers, you're buying all this equipment, and you have all this work right now. But if you stumble a little bit, who's going to pay for that equipment?
Well, we'll talk about that for a quick minute because you guys have said you've had great years, then you've had some not so great years.
Yes, for sure. So, I mean, we've expanded. It was around the 06, 07, going into 08, 9. We expanded. We were tons of work. Guys were doing a lot of work. A lot of new homes going up in the area,
sure.
A lot of maintenance. So, we were buying dump trucks, mowers, all that good stuff. And then you get a recession.
Okay.
And things slow down.
Yeah.
People aren't spending the money. The companies aren't spending the money either. So your commercials that you're counting on, they're downsizing everything they're doing.
Sure.
So you're not trimming bushes twice a year. You're not doing mulch all the time. They're cutting fertilizer. So you run into that. And if you have a bunch of bills, you can't pay them. So like us, we did. We bought this building in 04.
Okay.
And we bought all these trucks. So we had a ton. So we ended up selling, liquidating about 5-6 trucks.
Wow.
My personal truck went in that too.
Okay.
Sacrificed that. But we were lucky enough. My father was not a big spender. My dad lives in the same house I grew up in.
Oh, wow.
He never moved.
Sure.
Sure, he redid some things, but he never moved. But he always saved his money for rainy days.
Sure.
And that got us through it.
Do you see that as a mistake maybe with some of the younger guys or, social media, right? Let's go that whole route. Everybody's got the new truck, the new trailer. Like, is that okay? Like, not is that okay, but you know what I mean? Like, heed the warning of people that have come before you.
Yeah. So I always say if you can justify having a new truck or a new piece of equipment that's going to help you make money,
sure,
then you're going to go do it.
Right.
But if you're just buying it because you want it or you want to look like Tom down the road because he's got the new 750 with the stainless steel salter, but you could do everything with a 2-yard salter and you're not having a $2,000 payment, then it's not worth it. You got to have the right work and mix to buy that big equipment.
Sure.
Everyone wants it. There's stuff I want and I don't buy.
Right.
I mean, if you walk out there, we have a 97 dump truck, a 99 dump truck. I have a skidster that's from 87 or 8.
Yeah. What was that one that we did the video on?
The Mustang.
The Mustang.
Yeah.
That's right. I didn't even know the brand. I don't do a bunch of landscaping, hardscaping, but.
And I'm not saying because certain things, you do have to replace and do. We're lucky. We're fortunate enough to have a great mechanic that can fix a lot of
Keep
stuff
that
for
moving.
us. Yeah.
Sure.
So it keeps everything turning. Otherwise, with our mowers, we try to cycle them every 4 years.
Okay.
We truly do. Like the newer ones we have, just harder to work on and stuff like that. Everything costs a little more, so we try to cycle those out, sell them, get new ones in to replace them.
Let me ask you this really quick, because just real time. We're in a quote unquote not recession, and the elephant in the room. We kind of know it. Anybody with a brain cell kind of knows it. We've seen supply chain shortages. We've seen material costs go
out the roof.
2-3x through the roof. We're getting bids for our house right now, and lumber is still it's come down, but it's still double,
Yeah.
what it was just 36 months ago. Labor's through the roof. I mean, we're all paying guys $20-$30 an hour.
Yes.
Where I used to starting wage for a guy in the trimmer was $12, and I was like, man, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, this is like a $10 job, and we're paying $12-$13.
Yeah.
And nowadays I'm like, somebody's like, yeah, I'll go trim for $18. I'm like, I will take you now. Like, let's go.
Let's go.
Like, no on ramp, no background check.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, but you know what I'm saying?
No, it's true.
But you guys, we can all relate. So what do you say to those guys? I know you said save your pennies and just be not frugal, but just be cognizant.
Yes.
But here's my issue right now, and I'm kind of in this boat too. Everybody looks good, smells good this last 5-6 years, right? Like we all have the memory of a goldfish sometimes, and we've all made money, and we've had different administrations, and we've still riding the wave of some of that maybe. But that's not always how it always has been.
No.
Talk to me about 07, 08, 09.
When your fall leaf cleanups are stacking up like the leaves and time is of the essence, there is no better solution than to slay through the leaf cleanups at warp speed with Billy Goat's flagship leaf loader, the all-new DL3700 VETR Leaf Dragon, and the Z3000 zero-turn Hurricane stand-on blower. The combination of these two all-powerful leaf-decimating machines will burn through large-scale leaf cleanups fast, helping to save valuable time and money during the season. The Leaf Dragon features 6,900 CFM of high-volume leaf suction, while the Hurricane Blower has 7,500 CFM of air volume and travels at a ground speed of 9 miles per hour. This pairing is the perfect setup for high-volume leaf cleanup that will exceed your expectations in productivity and result in a more profitable season than ever before experienced. Visit your local Billy Goat dealer or learn more at billygoat.com.
Talk to me about 07, 08, 09.
So in that time, we were fortunate enough that we didn't jump on the band of putting all our workload in landscape on brand new homes.
Okay.
So we were the guys the customer would call to redo your landscaping. So people were starting to do that. If they weren't moving at that time, they wanted to redo everything. So a lot of those guys were like, well, we just want to do the new homes because you don't have to rip out anything. And they were getting good money, and they were working for bigger companies, Pulte, Toll Brothers. They were
the national guys.
Yeah, they were going at it. You know, we kind of stood back and went the opposite direction. And did they were just redoing people's landscaping that way, and that kind of fed us through.
Keeping a diversified portfolio, maybe.
Yeah. So just everyone wanted to do the $100,000 landscape.
Right.
We were happy doing the 5, 8, 10.
Sure.
2, 1,000, whatever it took to pay the bills and make money and get through. And that's we basically that's what this company was founded on. That's what we did. We did everything. Yeah,
and I've had Corey Ballard on. He owned Perfect Cut Site Management, and he said they were going for the new installs.
Yeah,
and some of the big commercial builders went belly up, and they owed him
lots of money,
millions of dollars. Yeah. And I'm like, I have a customer right now that owes me $340, and I'm ready to burn their house down. Yeah. And I'm like, Corey, if I was owed $500,000, he's like, Brian, it's just part of the business. And I'm like, I don't even know what I would do. Like physically, I don't know if I could stomach that. So,
well, if you look at it like back in 08, or 07, 06, when everything was really good, and you look at the big companies, landscape companies that were around, a lot of those companies aren't here anymore.
Sure.
Right? They were doing the big stuff and got caught up in the hype. Needed all that equipment to do that work at the time, but then when they didn't get money and then the money stopped because there was no work, there was nowhere to go and no calls coming in.
Right.
So
I'm gonna double down on that in a quick second. Eric, you want to weigh in on this? Because you have a background in the industry for how 10, 20 years as well.
Oh yeah, 25 years. Yep.
20. Yeah. So what was your thought process during this whole time? Can you is this an amen? Is this what was your thought process during this last decade?
Yeah, it's been great. So I owned a company for almost 15 years, and we kind of fell into that recession, and it didn't come out. Ahead. And then I moved over. We started working for Clippers, and it's just been great growing this business with them, and kind of getting over that hump. I mean, I came in right at the end of that. I just celebrated my 10th anniversary with them.
Wow!
So
that's cool.
So yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah, and I know other buddies that they lost their tail in some of those bigger snow events like 13, 14 we were talking about in the video, and they had to work for somebody for a while, and they had the pursuit of going back out on their own. And then other people, actually I had this exact conversation with Liz the other day. She said, hey, if we lost it all, what would you do again? And I said, 1, I would rehustle and start a new business, or 2, I would be somebody's right-hand guy. I'd find the wealthiest guy I know and become his right hand man.
Yeah.
I said I'd be guaranteed to be semi-rich. I mean, I'd be guaranteed 100,000 a year rich within 24 months.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my attitude. So, you have a thought on that, or you were you're chuckling?
Well, no, I just. It's funny because you look for younger guys to get into the business.
Sure.
To bring them along so, you know, they can have a good living and do everything and learn everything that we're doing, because we're not getting any younger. So you need younger guys to come in and help out with the business and take care. And it's just, it's hard. It's hard to do.
Every industry, by the way.
Yes, everywhere.
Yeah, because right down the road, literally across the street from you guys is the Amazon Fulfillment Center.
Yes.
And you guys are dealing with people getting 16, 18, 20 bucks an hour. The dog is back. And, you know, and they get full-time benefits and 200, well, not 200, but 30 PTO days, you know, after working for 6 months and a $3,000 signing bonus. I mean, it's a huge sign on the highway, like now hiring, and you're like, hey, we'll pay 16. You got to go sweat.
Yeah. I saw Taco Bell was 16.
I know.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons was like 18. Tim, you know, the donuts place. If you guys don't have Tim Hortons, Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
And I was like, $18 in a shift meal.
Yeah.
I might do that in the winter.
Well, I believe McDonald's is 16 and then full benefits right away.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it's all about making an enticing work environment. And one thing that this is what I wanted to go back to, is talking about how you guys have grown the company the last 36 years. You were explaining in the video mechanization and adding quality machines. You guys had a windstorm and the Little Wonder debris loader, and then a variety of other machines too. Talk about how that maybe the landscape of landscaping has changed the last 15 years.
Yeah. So with labor shortage, you need equipment.
Sure.
So in the beginning, I will say, and Eric can attest to this, that we were not a very good equipment company using equipment for your benefit.
So you were just labor guys.
We're labor guys.
That's fair.
So
a lot of guys fall into that.
Yes, and we were 100% that. And then I started pushing to get different equipment to help out the labor force.
Well, when did you first realize this, or what was your first wow, I never thought about this, like Cal looking at a new gate, you know, like a multi-force or a windstorm, you know, what
was that? Probably
about 10 years ago, you started seeing the industry change a little bit, you know, with improvements and, you know, blowers, sidewalk machines for
stand-on mowers.
Yes.
Stand-ons.
Yeah.
You know?
Stand-ons, those are great machines.
Yeah.
And I won't lie, I don't put my head into the industry as much as other people. Like,
of course.
We kind of stay to ourselves, do our thing, and work, you know, do our work. But there's so many great things to help you get work done faster now.
I mean, like the Snow Raiders and the Mags.
Oh, yeah. The Snow Raiders are awesome.
Yep. The multi-forces.
Yeah. And like truly for us, like the Snow Raider was we got them 3 years ago, I think it was. And it was a great piece of equipment to add. We have the stainless steel drop salters on them.
Yeah.
And that saves us. It was huge. We were bucket guys, right? We still have the buckets for the stairs and stuff like that, but we were bucket guys all the time. But we were using so much more product,
right?
And then we started running a little bit of liquid calcium, with that on certain events, or just liquid calcium, to cut down some cost and help things. And it's been a huge thing for us.
So what do you say to the guy who's he's the Matt, 40-year-old, but hasn't adopted all this stuff? What do you say to him? Like, open your mind up just a little bit?
You got to open your mind up, because that piece of equipment for sidewalks can save you 3-4 guys easy.
So talk about that, because you were really excited about the Skag Windstorm. You're like, dude, this thing, like you were like smacking on it. You're like, dude, this thing guaranteed saved us 3 guys.
Yeah, so it saves you 3 guys plus 3, $800 blowers or $900 blowers, right? So
and maintenance.
And maintenance. You put that machine out there with the right guy on it, and he goes with the 2 other guys. They just
go to town.
Yeah, it cut us. I mean, it's huge, because we were running out of labor for doing lawns. It's been our hardest thing to get, is labor for lawns, and that piece of equipment in the fall, because we do about 185 fall cleanups.
Is that right?
Yeah. So it's a task.
Yeah, we do like 30, 40 maybe, like residential, and then about 15 commercial, and that's a lot. Like people are like, oh, only 30 cleanups. I'm like, well, A, it's good money, but B, like it's a lot of muscle.
It's a lot.
Like, don't underestimate leaf cleanups.
It is. It's a lot, and you have to have a science to it. Everyone has their own way of doing things, but you get a good science to it, get the crew trained to what you want to do, you can knock out a lot.
Amen.
Weather plays a big thing. Since we're a 2-sided company, doing snow maintenance in those trucks you use for your lawns and fall cleanup, going back and forth, it can be,
Do you shift guys from the one business to the other?
Yes.
Okay, so you can keep people moving on a rain day?
We have guys that work all year for us.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yep.
That's really, really cool. What any lessons that you learned with the business or the shop? Would you make it bigger, smaller, wider, left, right, in town, out of town? If you had to do it all, because that's kind of the theme is the shop tours. We got guys building 40 by 60s and 70 by 120s.
Yeah.
New guys building, out Pacific Northwest. I got a buddy. He's building a $3 million training facility / HQ.
Yeah.
And we were talking. He's like, "Yeah, my original quote was 1.5. Now it's like 3 million." And I go, "Welcome to COVID." And because he was asking about my barn, I'm like, "Well, I don't have those kind of problems, but mine is 30 to 50% more money."
Yeah. So anything you build, like when we walked into this and we bought it, I'm like, we're never going to outgrow this.
Sure. Right.
And we're not doing as much like maintenance and stuff but if you walk through, it's cluttered. I mean, we do our best to unclutter it and clean it, but it's cluttered. I mean, we could probably use another 10,000 square feet easy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's crazy. But we don't have any fancy bells or whistles either. We don't have a fancy office.
We do have that cool crane, by the way.
Yeah.
Talk about the crane, just because that's an honorable mention.
So the crane came with the building because it was a tool and die building. So that's where they would unload the steel and stuff like that. So we have this big crane that we lift up our mowers to change.
It's this yellow hook that looks like it could pull the core out of the earth.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. I'm like, is that standard issue? You're like, no, that was a one-off. But you ever see like the old Under Siege movies where they build those cranes to get the missiles off, the cruise missiles off? It looks like
one of those
like I-beam rails guys. If you're listening in with this yellow like,
when you hit your head on it, you're like, you know it.
That'll knock some sense into you. That's good stuff. No, that's really, really cool, man. You guys have a really cool operation. You guys got nothing but good. People say nothing but good things about you guys around town, which word gets out. Like, hey, I'm gonna go visit so and so. Like, oh, that guy's good. Like, you guys got to go meet these guys. You were giving me a couple honorable mentions too. You're like, hey, what about this guy? This guy. I'm like, actually, that person is on the tour. Actually, I haven't heard about this other guy. Like, so this is really cool. We'll probably button up this podcast here in just a quick minute, but just some pearls of wisdom. Anything that you want to leave these guys while you guys are both with us on the show? Because I'm doing this during a weekday. You guys got the shop open. The guys will be coming back in a minute, so I don't want to overextend my stay. But anything you want to leave these guys while we're on this tour?
You guys that are the smaller guys wanting to get bigger, I'll say one of the best things that we did in the beginning was answered our phone and did bids in less than 24 hours.
Okay. So simple stuff, but very important.
Yes, and we could pick up work really fast that way because we were the first guy there or the only guy to call.
We try to emphasize that on the podcast. Pick up the phone, call people, or at least if somebody calls or something, text them back.
Correct.
Hey, we'll call you after 5 or before this window. So talk about that for a quick minute because that's really helpful. Yeah.
So like some people are text guys, some people are email guys.
Yeah.
I'm talking the phone guy. I want to hear your voice. I want to know what's going on. Even problems. When you get an email and it says a problem, it always sounds worse on the paper than truly it is when you talk to somebody.
Sure.
And sometimes people, I know not everyone wants to talk to somebody.
Right.
But that's kind of how I am. And I'm probably a little more old school than most guys in that way.
Right.
But I think that relationship's great when you get to talk to someone.
Working with people.
Yeah.
I dig it. Eric, any thoughts on that one too?
Yeah, no, on the phone conversation for me is the best. I mean, obviously email can be great, if you're late at night, trying to catch up on some stuff. You can't call somebody at 11 o'clock at night, so an email.
I mean, they call you, why not? You know,
for sure.
You guys know how that goes.
An email does great, but it's, it's always great. Even in-person meeting,
in-person meeting,
shaking someone's hand, solidify a deal. It's it's important.
What one other quick question I got for both of you guys is dealing with the youth, like working with them. People are like, oh, they're lazy, they're uninspired. I'm like, well, that's just not true because like they will do the craziest things at the craziest hours. You got to find out kind of what motivates them is what I try to suggest. So what's been your thoughts as you've noticed the labor pool change?
So this year is probably the first year I've had a bunch of high school workers and young guys under 20.
Sure.
22. I got a young guy that works for me right now. He's 18 years old, and his drive for this industry is awesome.
Okay.
So, it's a little different. A lot of them don't want to work 60 hours, 65 hours like it used to be. They love 32 to 42.
It's so true.
And I understand they want to, live life and do other things too. So just trying to balance that workload and so they can have their family time, personal time is different. So like when my dad started, I won't lie, I would work 82 hours.
Right.
This is just what we did. If we work Saturday and Sunday, it is what it is.
Right. It wasn't an option.
It wasn't an option.
It wasn't even a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those days are over.
Right.
So you got to have that personal time for them to relax, get away, do their stuff.
A friend of mine, his company, they work 410s. They're in the middle age bracket wise with their guys, but they'd rather work 410s or some overtime.
Yeah.
And then guaranteed Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Yeah.
And we're in the same boat. Like we don't work 10s necessarily, but we're like 7:30 to about 4:35.
You guys are at breakfast all the time.
Shut up, dude. You know how that goes. I'm taking a page out of your book. Yeah. I get so much crap for us going to breakfast. I'm like, we got to feed the guys. It's all about the guys. Liz literally says I work just to eat, and I'm like, hey, if that was lunch. My younger brother, who, dude, but I'm not even gonna get into it, but he's the Branded Bull website guy, but he's like. He drives to where his job is, and he telecommutes a couple days a week. He goes, dude, every time I drive by, I see your rig at a Quiznos, at a restaurant, at a breakfast, and I'm like, dude, we work hard, we play hard. Get off my,
That's awesome.
Got to get my 2-egg breakfast,
Yeah.
Tell them about really quick Coney Islands. You guys know, people listen to the show worldwide. They don't know like what a Coney Island is.
Coney Islands, yeah. It's best. It's a great breakfast.
Yeah.
It's Michigan's known for the Coney Island.
I know.
It's cheap. It's good.
Yeah. You get a little 2-egg breakfast
Some greasy
for
bacon.
People don't, but they don't know if you don't live in Michigan.
Right. Yeah.
It's like cider mills.
Right.
People are like, you went to a mill of cider? I'm like, it's a cider mill. They're like, yeah, we don't do that in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
You should.
Dude, right. So like we've been to 3 cider mills already in 3 weeks. But the Coney Island diners, people are like, oh, you guys eat out all the time. Like it's a greasy little egg diner
It's a
place.
greasy spoon.
Yeah, exactly. You get 2 eggs, meat, and water, and it's $7.
Yeah.
And you're in and out in 25 minutes.
Right.
And that's what we just fill up, man. It keeps the guys love it though. Like I pay for lunches, and people are like, oh my god, $35-$40 a day. I'm like, dude, it's $18 with tip, for some eggs and bacon.
Right.
But they love that. And here's the 2 options, right? The hard driving business down the road that's going to work you 60 hours, not mechanized,
right?
Versus the other guy that's got all the latest and greatest equipment, invest in their people, some free lunches, or maybe a lunch once a week.
Yeah.
Give them a shift meal on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Whatever. Bring some pizzas in on Wednesday. But I love what you said, that sometimes those guys want to work 30, 40 hours. They don't want to do 40, 50, 60.
Yeah.
Unless they got like a fishing trip. Like, hey, man, I need like 500 extra bucks. Hey, overtime's always available.
And it took a little time for me to adjust to that. It's still, I'm like, what do you mean we're not working? It's Friday.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We have this work to do. But
Yep.
it's just the way the landscape is now.
Has it changed you? Like, are you? Do you like it? Not like it? Or you're just like frustrated with it? Do you wish people would come back? Like, how do you?
I truly wish I could have enough guys where I could run part-time guys. These guys work X amount of hours. These guys come in and work this just to get a little bit more work done. Because like all of us, we're in a rush to get things done.
Right.
And sometimes when we're not working on Friday, it just threw this behind more.
Yep.
So it would just be nice if you had more part-time guys or something.
Like 30 guys working 30 hours instead of 20 guys working, whatever, 50 hours. And because you got fresh legs, fresh people.
Yeah, and it saves you in overtime and everything like that. If that's
100%.
If the people are, the guys are wanting to do that, it's saving you in that overtime.
Well, there's a company right down the road from me. I'm not going to say the name. You guys know who they are, but they over in Commerce, and they work 6:30 to 6:30. The trucks get back at 7. You know who I'm talking about in a heartbeat. Big box truck company, and they're all a lot of Mexican guys, Honduras guys, and they work, dude, like base is 60 hours.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, you won't find any white boy kid in America to do that. Like, it's just not going to work.
That's used to how it used to be 10 years ago, 15 years ago. People come in, am I going to get 65 hours?
Right. Like minimum. They wanted that.
You'd be in July, August, scrambling to get these guys 65 hours.
Wow.
Because that's what they're planning on.
Yes.
They're seasonal.
Yes.
And they want that money. But now it's the opposite. I went 32 hours.
Yeah. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think my dad said, it was probably 18 years ago, he says, if we could get part-time guys where you could have guys work from 7 to 2, 2 to 7.
2 shifts.
2 shifts.
Yep.
And you could do it. You probably can make everyone happy that way.
Yeah.
I've
heard a lot of the national guys are trying to do that.
Yeah.
They work their 40, and then they got a whole different crew for the weekends.
Right.
And but they just keep it 7 days.
Yeah. I wish I could find the guys to do it. I mean,
you and me both.
Great.
you and me both. Send resumes to clippers.com/resumes.
Yes.
One of those deals, right?
Yeah.
No, dude, I think that's a pretty cool way to end the podcast. Just a lot of great tips baked into this one. Any parting thoughts for both of you guys? But if not, we'll kind of button it up.
Yeah.
Eric, you're going first.
Good.
Okay, give me your best piece of business advice though. Over the last 20, you've been doing this 20 years. What's helped you the most?
I just keep grinding. Keep grinding. Don't get too big too fast. Make sure you have enough money in the bank to get through a hard time.
I like it. All right, Matt. That's it. We're gonna button it up. What do you else? You got anything left?
No. I mean, that's it.
That's good?
Yeah.
All right, man. Cool deal. All right. Well, you guys have been great. Don't forget to check out the video here, guys, on Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel. These guys are awesome. They're pretty like humble, low key. You guys are pretty chill, but you guys have a lot of great things going on. You guys should be really proud of what you got going on.
Thank you.
Yeah, for real. And I mean that sincerely. I've been able to do a couple of different shop tours like this now, and I was walking through, and you did a great job on the video, by the way.
Oh,
you were like, I was nervous. I'm like, couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
Because I was messing with him. Like, you've done this before? You're like, nope. I'm like, dude, I don't even think I have to edit this thing.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys check out that video. And where can people follow you guys on social or Plowright? Just to plug all that really quick.
Yeah, pretty much Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, everything.
Yeah.
Website, www.plow-right.com.
Are you doing TikTok dances? Not yet?
Tries.
TikTok's a new one for us.
TikTok brought that down. They pulled the video.
Yeah.
It goes against our user guidelines.
Yeah.
And then clippers, though, for landscape supplies locally.
Yes.
For salt.
Yeah, for salt. If you guys are looking for salt, open 24 hours.
Yeah.
Usually open 12 hours before and 48 after.
Yep.
Repair.
Where are you guys at here again physically?
320 Stark Road.
Yep.
So we're between 96 and Plymouth Road.
So what's like the 5 or 6 surrounding cities in case these guys are listening again?
So you got
Livonia,
Plymouth,
Redford.
Northville, Redford,
Yep.
Westland.
Yep.
I mean, if you're east side of Detroit,
Yep.
west side of Detroit, right here, you got we're close. We're right off the expressway, so
Yep.
it makes it easy.
Yep.
Certified scale.
Cool.
Sell everything by the ton, so you're paying for what you get.
Yep.
Dry salt. We got a dome, covers everything.
How many years is that again in there? Or tons?
We get about 2,000 tons in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's worth
So-
checking that out on the YouTube video alone.
Yeah, and we try to get you in and out
Yeah.
fast so you can get back on the road. We do a good job of that. Yeah, so
We need to do a Brian Sin on the salt, Eric. That's what I'm really missing out. So that's you guys start buying that stuff by the truckload and the train load, and
Yeah.
Then we could actually get a real kickback. No, I'm just kidding. But that's funny that we need a salt supplier. Morton's, holler at your boy,
Yeah.
But just having fun. So all right, guys. Well, super appreciate you guys listening as well. If you guys are enjoying the shop tour series, we'll be back here every Monday for the next 6 weeks. We really appreciate Billy Goat, Buyers, and Western for jumping on board here. Check out their products and all their websites. We'll leave links in the description. But guys, we'll button it up right here. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
When your fall leaf cleanups are stacking up like the leaves and time is of the essence, there is no better solution than to slay through the leaf cleanups at warp speed with Billy Goat's flagship leaf loader, the all-new DL3700 VETR Leaf Dragon, and the Z3000 zero-turn Hurricane stand-on blower. The combination of these two all-powerful leaf decimating machines will burn through large-scale leaf cleanups fast, helping to save valuable time and money during the season. The Leaf Dragon features 6,900 CFM of high-volume leaf suction, while the Hurricane Blower has 7,500 CFM of air volume and travels at a ground speed of 9 miles per hour. This pairing is the perfect setup for high-volume leaf cleanup that will exceed your expectations in productivity and result in a more profitable season than ever before experienced. Visit your local Billy Goat dealer or learn more at billygoat.com.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
Marty here with one more reminder before we wrap everything up, and that is about the Black Friday sales that are coming to LawnpreneurAcademy.com. Yes, our biggest, baddest, best sales of the year over that weekend of Black Friday through Cyber Monday. Make a little note on your phone, set a reminder to check out LawnpreneurAcademy.com for big savings.